is there anything that we can do to like get Michael Saylor, for example, to take his fucking coins off of Coinbase, put them somewhere else, continue doing what he's doing, and hopefully reduce some of the systemic risk in the system?
Yeah, I mean, the concentration of custody coins from ETFs in Coinbase is concerning as well. Presumably, that would change as more banks are now able to do custody. Now, I think the current crop of exchanges in a Bitcoin space are almost all custodial, and I think that's not necessary. I think it's just a kind of, that was the easiest thing to build and it stuck, right? So, there are a few different decentralized or centralized but non-custodial market services or functions in Liquid, built on top of Liquid. The one that's probably more popular is SideSwap. So it's a central order book, but it's non-custodial, so you can place a limit order from a hardware wallet, like from a Jade wallet. I think Ledger has Liquid support as well. And then, use a normal interface to set up your order. You click OK, your hardware wallet pops up, and you are approving the parameters of the trade on the hardware wallet. You partially sign that, and that partially signed limit order goes to the order book, and then you can go offline. And if it matches, it will become valid and it'll get settled on the Liquid chain. And when you come back online, you'll have less tether and you'll have more Bitcoin or whatever you're doing, right? So it's possible to do a lot of things like that, including mix those kind of orders into a custodial order book, because they can just simply match the non-custodial orders against their hot wallet, and then they've kind of merged those two types of trades. So I think that would be a nice bit of technology to see deployed into exchanges, because it's a differentiator, right? Now you can trade without exchange custody risk. And the other direction, which is kind of reaction to FTX, is that now a lot of the custodians are, in a traditional finance world, if you're trading on E-Trade or something like that, the shares are not held by E-Trade, they're held by a separate custodian. And it's to avoid a conflict of interest in a bankruptcy scenario. And yet in Bitcoin, that's not the case. So since FTX, the traders got sufficiently upset to insist that would be the case. And so now there are some custodians which are doing what they call trilateral agreements. They agree with an exchange that the custodian will hold the Bitcoin or Tether or whatever you're trading with. They'll agree that the exchange can trade with it, like give you an IOU you can trade with. But if the exchange goes bankrupt, you're going to keep your coins and not get haircut or bailed into it. So that's the kind of, that's one type of solution, but that's a centralized solution. I think the non-custodial one is better, and you can do a lot of things with that, right? You can do covered call options, you can do offline kind of limit orders. So I think you could build a lot of what exists today in a trustless way like that, including loans, right? There's a guy who wrote some kind of loan structures as a Liquid contract as well. So you can do that. It's just that people are, I guess, focused on doing the easy thing until it fails, and then they take evasive action.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I would add to that I think it's an evolutionary process for these folks, like BlackRock holding stuff at Coinbase, right, or Saylor holding at Coinbase, and kind of first step is just to get them crawling, right, get them into the market, right, and then hopefully they will start to learn more about it, and then they will make that progression to maybe, hey, let's custodian the asset, right, and then hey, maybe it's crawl, walk. Walk is that custodian. Maybe run is okay. Now we're self-custody, but that evolution through those types of organizations, I think, will take a lot longer than we would ever expect it to, because they're like like government type entity with like a BlackRock. I mean, it moves very slow, very bureaucratic.
So I think the having covenants and the ability to make a vault would make self-custody or third-party custody a lot safer, because